Hangtime is presented by Lawrence Technological University, where Blue Devils dare. Also in partnership with the Indiana High School Athletic Association.
What's up, Hoosiers? Hangtime is back on the air. Your home for boys basketball highlights in the state of Indiana. Greg Rakestraw and Bob Stambazzi will be along shortly. Hangtime is presented by Lawrence Technological University.
I'm John Rawlings from the Evansville area. We begin with an all-SIAC matchup. Castle traveling to face their rivals from Memorial. First quarter, Castle moving the ball well. Jasper Hubner finds Cole Simmons in the corner. Knights take a 3-point lead. Memorial responds right away. Logan Lively splits the defense and heads right to the rack. Tigers within one. Castle sticking to the game plan around the perimeter until they find Bob Nungy. Down the hatch it goes. He drops 28. Now the Tigers tried their luck from the outside. Lively zipping one to Justin Y, stroking one down from deep, but Castle always had an answer, and the answer was crisp ball movement to the corner. This time Zeke Niehaus lets it fly. Castle wins 74-46. North is trying to snap a 3-game skid. The Huskies on the road against Harrison. We pick it up in the first. Terrence Ringo playing strong, flexing his muscles down low, the board bucket and the foul. That's part of a 21-point, 10-rebound double-double performance. Next came Wilson and Ringo play the two-man game to perfection with Wilson cashing in. Harrison starts on a 5-0 run. After a slow start, the Huskies bounce back off the miss. Dom Redding swoops on in, converting with the baby jumper. Huskies on the board. Moments later, Dylan McKinney stops, pops, and drops the step-back jumper, but Harrison's inside continues to dominate. Off the miss, Jatwan Watson cleans up the mess. He points a 17-point, 11-rebound double-double. Harrison picks up their first conference win of the season. Warriors on top, 74-59. As we move to the PAC, the Titans of Gibson Southern host Heritage Hills. The Patriots ranked 3rd in the state. Picking things up in the third quarter, Patriots sharing the rock. Cole Sigler pulls up from the wing. Visitors up 20. Just over 4 to play in the quarter. Pat still sharing the wealth. Blake Sisley, the recipient this time. The big man scoring down low. Patriots adding on. Titans not backing down though. Aiden Neal throws one up for Carson Brindle, but there is no crack in the Patriots. Murray Becker drives inside and drops one in. A game high 23 for the senior. And now it's Sisley converting down low. Count it and the foul. Pats win 70-35.
I'm Kevin Trozinski, and let's head over to a mid-conference matchup. The CARMEL Greyhounds came in at 5-3, and they hosted the 4-3 Center Grove Trojans. Greyhounds going to get off to a fast start. They win the tip-off and get good movement on the outside until they find Charlie Williams left all alone on the baseline, and he gets CARMEL on the board first. And the Greyhounds would keep it going throughout the first. Jackson Jansen left wide open in the corner, and he won't miss from deep. CARMEL up 13-7 after one. Second quarter, and the Trojans would get things going. Charlie Bemis finding Tyler Cerny behind the long line, but a good second quarter for the Greyhounds keeps them in front, 35-14 at the break. Third quarter, and Center Grove defense holds strong. Bemis gonna get the strip and go all the way in himself, off the glass, and the Trojans down 39-22 after 3. And CG would try and keep it going in the fourth. Off the inbound, Leighton McGovern having a quiet night, but he'll drive and let loose a floater, pulling the Trojans closer. But the Greyhounds would be too much. Check out this. Pete Suter gets the block on the inbound. It gets up to Connor Goya behind the back and beats the 2-on-1. Will Leary finishes it off as CARMEL down Center Grove, 53-44, your final.
I'm Jenna Skalski. Let's check out the championship game of the Ripley County Tournament. The Batesville Bulldogs taking on the MILAN Indians. MILAN hasn't won this tournament in over 60 years. They look to change that this time. Indians grab the board and quickly out to Matt Reilly. He's good from deep. But the Bulldogs answer right back. Colt Myers with a 3 of his own, and Batesville led 17-15 after one. Early stages of the second, and the Indians still deadly from distance, working the perimeter until Josh Clark gets open and won't miss. Indians on a 5-point run, and they'll keep it going. Peyton Work gonna dish it to Carter Wade. He'll hit to make it a 7-point run, and Milan went into the half up 35-30. In the third, Bulldogs keeping it close. Meyer can't drive, so he'll give it over to Sam Vagley from behind. The long line, the Bulldogs were within 4. But in the fourth, it would be the Indians' show. Work's gonna get the ball, drive the lane, double clutch, and get it to Adam Norman. He'll drop it in, and the Indians go on to win the Ripley County Tournament for the first time since 1954 by a final score of 72-63.
All right, in this opening segment, 3 games that kind of caught our attention across various parts of the state of Indiana. Not surprisingly, I want to start in the MIC. My buddy Baz wanted to give me a CARMEL letter jacket during the football season. I've only had the Hounds one time so far this year. Literally, as we're filming this, I'll see them tonight.
There you go.
As they are playing Cathedral. But a very young basketball team for head coach Ryan Osborne. They graduated 4 of their 5 starters. Their 6th man transferred schools, 1 senior in the program. Yet the basic fundamentals are the same. They're going to lock you up defensively. Big home win for them on Friday night against Center Grove.
And plus they're big. Yeah. I mean, I was looking at the roster and I said 6'9", 6'6", 6'. I mean, where'd all these 6'8" guys coming from? But they're low in size, but nothing I looked at. They're very athletic, and I can understand what you say now about their defense.
From Scott Heddy and then to Ryan Osborne after him, everything's been about we're going to play basic fundamental basketball. You're not going to score 50 points on us. We'll find a way to get to 50, and we're going to win. Probably not as physical just because, again, those kids haven't matured yet. They're largely playing sophomores and juniors, but Pete Suter is the one carryover from last year. He's gone from role player to star, about 14, 15 points a game, 8 rebounds a game. He's one of those guys that's just a solid all-around basketball player and really can kind of guard 3 or 4 different positions.
You know, we talk about points all the time, but you just hit a key to me. Rebounds, 8 big ones. That is tough to get anymore in high school basketball.
And he's the 3rd tallest player in their starting 5, as you point out, with guys like Waddell and Williams at 6'6" and 6'9". A team that has similar size, if nowhere close on enrollment, is in the 3A level, that being Heritage Hills. They got a big home victory against Washington. Guys like Sigler and Sisley and Becker that comprise that team. Their losses, 3 of them, are all to really good teams. 4A ranked Brownsburg, 3A Silver Creek. They also lost to Lafayette Jeff, who's ranked number 4 this week in the 4A poll. Again, this is a team that hasn't won a sectional in only 20 years, but they may have their best collection of talent in program history.
Well, they got 3 double-digit scores. Oh, when you sit there and look at that, and you talk about their size at 6'8", 6'4", 6'2", and also another player getting 8 rebounds a game. But this Heritage Hills team, I think they would be really fun to watch.
They are, and they've got some. They can knock down the 3. They had a young man in the Sherry kid who shot over 52% from three-point range last year. Now, he's not been knocking them down as much this year, but he's going to play baseball at the University of Evansville. But Becker, who's their all-time leading scorer in program history, he's got this old-school game. His best shots between 15 and 18 feet. The way they move the basketball, they're fun to watch.
That mid-range jump shot, it's lost. Because of the 3-point shot, it's interesting to hear that.
CARMEL is on the fringe of the top 10 in 4A. Heritage Hills in the upper end of the ranked teams in 3A. The next game I'm bringing up, neither team is ranked. I doubt either one will be over the course of the season. But I had the fortune to be on the call of Milan and Batesville Saturday night. The Milan Indians win the Ripley County Championship for the first time in 60 years. That's not a verbal typo. 6-0 since 1960, the last time they won it. That's amazing to me that a program with that storied tradition hadn't claimed that title in 6 decades.
And they only have 1 double-digit score to be able to come through there like that, to get that in the Norman kids. So this is really collectively a team effort to win the county tournament.
I love their point guard in Peyton Wirt. He averaged just under 7 assists a game last year. He's a fantastic distributor. In the championship game, he had 15 to lead them in scoring. It's a very balanced effort. They're in the same sectional as one of the great stories in Indiana high school basketball this year, the undefeated South Decatur team in 2A. But Milan will play them close. That's going to be a fun matchup to watch come postseason time.
What's up, Indiana? Jenna Skelski here. Just letting you know that State Champs is committed to covering all high school sports. We have a brand new show dedicated to the girls' side of the hoops equation, as well as highlights in other sports such as swimming and wrestling. We call it the State Champs Winter Roundup, and it premieres every Friday at 5:30 p.m. Be sure to download our brand new State Champs app and check out our socials so you will never miss a minute.
Hey, if you have the dream of playing college sports, Lawrence Technological University just might be the place for you to live that dream. LTU is located in the Metro Detroit area of Southeast Michigan, and the renaissance going here is quite incredible. Downtown Detroit has so much to do in terms of restaurants, clubs, sports. It's awesome. And Lawrence Tech offers over 25 sports that compete in the NAIA. Student athletes are earning athletic and academic scholarships every day. Recruit yourself at LTUathletics.com.
I admit it, I love working with money, negotiating, and making big decisions. That's why I'm majoring in finance and economics at Lawrence Tech. What's truly amazing about the education here is the small class sizes that give me easy access to my professors who truly care about my future. They even helped me get a great internship. And I was able to fulfill my lifelong dream of playing college golf. Lawrence Tech, where Blue Devils dare.
Welcome back to State Champs Hangtime, Indiana. Now, back to the highlights.
I'm Glenn Marini from the Fort Wayne area. Prairie Heights ranked third in the state's 2A poll at 10-0. Panthers came in just one of 9 remaining unbeaten teams in Indiana. Panthers facing Angola. That was Dyer Ball of Angola, the senior, with the layup. Hornets up in the first quarter. Then it's Joel Knox with the deuce. And Angola with an early lead, and the Purple Pride keeps pouring it on. Brian Parrish, the layup to go up 6 is Angola in the lead and looking good, but Prairie Heights starts to turn it on in the second quarter. Brandon Christlieb, one of the many shooters on this Prairie Heights team, he gets it to go. Then Mike Perkins, the senior, would splash one home as Prairie Heights on a run. They go from down 4 to up 18-6. That's a huge swing for Prairie Heights. How about Elijah Malone, the 6'8" big man being recruited by Oakland University with the bucket, but Angola limits Prairie Heights to just 7 points in the second half. Angola with an upset win, 33-28 over Prairie Heights. At Kilmer Court, Snyder came in winning 7 of its last 8. Dylan Duff, the senior, just went over 1,000 points in the last game for the Panthers. First quarter, though, it's to Quay White for the Bruins, and then it's to Noah Ridley. He had 18 points and 10 boards as the Bruins up early. Snyder, so many weapons offensively. Isaac Farnsworth inside for a pair. Then it's John Barnes Jr. canning the 3, and Snyder now up by 1. Second quarter action, it's Ridley with the defense. No soup for you to Noah Ridley. The huge block, but Michael Ely starts to take over for the Snyder Panthers. The junior getting some mid-major looks at 30 points and 10 boards. Then it's Dylan Duff with the lay-in as Snyder wins a good one against Northrop, 78-71. Across Fort Wayne, Carroll Chargers coming in ranked 12th in this week's 4A state poll. First quarter action, they jump out to an early lead. That was Ray Vollmer ahead to Richie Gross for the lay-in, and then the kick out to Ryan Preston for 3 of his 15. Other side, Jalen Jackson, the sophomore, also had 15. That would lead Carroll as the Chargers jump out to an early 8-zip lead. Dwenger trying to get on the board. It's their first basket of the game. Hunter Burns knifes in for a pair, but it's Jackson, the sophomore, that leads the way for Carroll as the Chargers beat Bishop Dwenger by a final of 60-43.
I'm John Rawlings from the Evansville area. Staying in the PAC, Southridge is trying to keep their league record perfect, while Tecumseh is going for their first PAC win. Early going, Raiders on the attack. Colson Montgomery pulls up from the elbow. Raiders draw first blood. Tecumseh swings right back, though. Dustin Toupont skips to Levi Lil Pop in the corner. He's cash. Braves up 1. Now the Raiders get it going inside. Garrett Vogel to Sam Simmersheim for the reverse, and the Raiders never looked back. Vogel continues to find the hot hand later on. Montgomery from downtown. Southridge takes it 55-39. At the top of the PAC standings is South Spencer. The Red Hot Rebels go for 7 straight wins as they travel today. Early going, Houston Compton puts the visitors up 9. Now the Rebels get running. Jace Kelly starts the fast break and Michael Donahoe does the rest, putting South Spencer up double digits. Day needs an answer and they get one from Tyler Myers and Grant Bivens, who combine for the bang bang bucket. Eagles chipping away, but South Spencer just keeps coming at them. Donahoe fires down court to Kobe Bartlett and the rest is history. Devin Hughes tickles the twine with the triple from the wing. The Rebels win their 7th straight, this one by the count 76-56.
I'm Chuck Pellerito, and let's check out a matchup between the 4 and 5 Southport Cardinals taking on the visiting 7 and 2 Franklin Central Flashes. The Flashes trying to get off to a good start, and they do. Mason Gonzalez gets it with some space in the corner, lets loose the triple, and the Flashes up by 3 early. And they would keep it rolling to finish up the first. Gonzalez with 7 points already. He'll close out the quarter with another 3 at the buzzer. That was 10 points in the quarter. Flashes up big, 19-5 after 1. Second quarter, and the Cardinals start to get some momentum. Brevin Jefferson spins around and from a tough angle drains a 3-ball. Southport is going to cut into that big lead even more. Keon Miller going to drive the lane, miss the reverse, but Anthony Ball is right there to put it back and 1. Cardinals trailed 8 going into the break, 32-24. Southport defense starts to step up in the third. Jefferson gonna poke it away and take it coast to coast. That pulls the Cardinals within 1 with 5 minutes left in the quarter. The Cardinals would score 27 points in the third, but it's Javon Small for the Flashes. He drives, takes the contact while still getting the bucket. The Flashes trailed 51-48 after 3. But Franklin Central would surge back in the final frame. Small working the glass, they get it out to Benny Ogioni. He steps around the defender, nails the long 2, as the Franklin Central Flashes go on to win this one over the Southport Cardinals, 71-63, our final.
All right, now we have covered Central Indiana and Southern Indiana, and given my background, that's not surprising. I need to be a more gracious host and let the man of Northeastern Indiana talk about his pocket of the state. You're stunned. You're like literally.
Wait a minute. Somebody give me some oxygen.
I've made the Baz speechless. We need to stop the show right here. All right, so let's go to a team that, and an area we haven't talked about a lot. Prairie Heights and Angola. Now, Angola, we've talked about them in football. They've had a great run in football the last 3 or 4 years. But this Prairie Heights team upset by Angola in a low-scoring game, 33-28 on Friday night. But still, they're ranked in the top 10 in 2A, and they're one of the best three-point shooting teams in the state.
Yeah, they're ranked number 3, and when you look at Prairie Heights, actually, they are in the middle of nowhere. They are 11 miles from LaGrange, 11 miles from Angola, right in the middle. But this success they're having right now is well overdue. It's been a long time coming. They got a big post player. They play exceptional, as you just said. Some defense, only allowing 33. Granted, they only scored 28.
Right.
But this is huge for Prairie Heights right now.
Which, again, they had scored 39 in a game. Fairfield, which is always a solid team, they had scored 50 in a game against Eastside. A lot of scores in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Again, from a percentage standpoint, if you look at like the top 5 or 6 teams in three-point percentage across the state, and Prairie Heights is one of them, they all have like no losses or 1 loss. You're looking at Fishers and Lafayette Jeff and Shenandoah, teams that have been ranked for the entirety of the season. Prairie Heights has their big conference tournament coming up over the course of this week, so we'll see how they do.
Yeah, that NECC tournament's going on right now, and let me just say, as I like to say, that's a slobber knocker. It's as physical basketball as you ever want to see in that NECC.
All right, so physical basketball at the Summit Athletic Conference. They tend to be a little physical there. And we've got some highlights to show you, and 2 teams that weren't overly tested in games this past week, but when you play in Fort Wayne, you're going to find good competition more often than not. Let's talk about Snyder and Carroll. Snyder is 9-3. Marty's team at Carroll is now 11-1.
Yeah, you look at Carroll, they're really hitting on all cylinders right now. Maybe the best team in Fort Wayne, kind of questionable right now with Blackhawk the way they're playing. They got 3 players hitting in double figures right now for Carroll. Good size, but Coach, one thing he teaches, as long as I've known him when he was up at Garrett and came down to Carroll, was the fact he likes to go after the defensive end, and that's been kind of a common theme the past couple years in that area, and Coach Beasley doing a great job.
Well, again, we've shown highlights from the nice wins that both Carroll and Snyder had over Northrop, and and Dwinger, respectively. But the game that was getting everybody's attention like, I don't know, Tom Izzo, Roy Williams, Matt Painter, and I love you, Dane Fife, even though you're not a head coach. Dane was at the game as well, because if there's a Michigan State recruit in Indiana, you better believe Dane's going to be at the game. That was Blackhawk and Homestead, and Blackhawk is a prohibitive favorite in 2A. Linton Stockton's really good. Shenandoah is really good. We just referenced Prairie Heights. We talked about South Decatur. None of those guys have a player like Caleb First from a height standpoint, so Blackhawk is a favorite. But Homestead, another good 4A Fort Wayne team, got a 14-point win on Tuesday.
Well, we talked about him in football, the good kid. You know, he's 6'6", and everybody's looking at him also. But they're good size themselves. Well of a ball game last night at Blackhawk. As a matter of fact, people were complaining not enough tickets. But
play that game at the Coliseum, by the way.
I've seen that done.
Feel free.
I've seen that done. I can tell you that story down the road. But it was 69-55 last night. Well of a ball game. Homestead got out early, then extended the lead starting the third quarter and pulled away going to the fourth. But just an exciting Hoosier Hysteria basketball game.
And let's talk about one other Fort Wayne team, because their schedule this weekend, my buddy Fonzo White at Fort Wayne Luers, they got a good thing going. They're 6-3. They've had some good wins, including beating Marion, albeit without Jalen Blackman, winning at Hamilton Heights with the Etchison kid they have a couple of days ago. They're 6-3, but how about this for a weekend? You play at 11-1 Carroll, and you catch Blackhawk at 10-2 after they suffered their second loss of the season.
Can somebody pass the donuts? I mean, it's going to be an early morning shoot-around to get ready for this big bad game, because this is the challenges Luers really looks to get ready. Why? We talk about in football, don't we? Get ready for postseason play, and that's what they're doing right now, because they're kind of middle of the pack in a sack, and they're getting ready for tournament play.
Now, if you want to give Fonzo some donuts, he coaches at Luers. You coach at Luers as well. This is the softball coach at Luers, folks. You take him the donuts and tell him they're complimentary of me, even if you're buying.
By the way, they were there last Saturday.
I knew that was going to be the case. So that's kind of the goings-on in Allen County. We referenced the fact MILAN has this great win in the Ripley County tournament a week ago. We are to that point in time of the season, where we've kind of gotten through the holiday invitationals. Now we're getting to, some schools have their conference tournaments, but a lot of schools, if you haven't had them yet, are having your county tournament. The Marion County tournament is coming up this weekend. Semifinals and finals at Southport Fieldhouse. A lot of signs point to Lawrence Central, Lawrence North, the potential second of 3 meetings this year, the other being in a sectional. So as far as we've got a couple of great games, 1 or 2 in Fort Wayne. Trust me, I know where the great basketball in Marion County is being played this weekend. It's at Southport.
And I hate to think about it right now, but we're just 2 weeks away. State tournament draw coming up for the girls, as you're familiar with. So that's coming up.
January the 26th, that happens on the girls' side. February the 23rd, that happens on the boys' side. That'll do it for our contribution to the program. For the Baz, this is Greg Rakestraw. Lauren, we now kick it back to you.
That's all the time we have for this week. Download the new State Champs app for either Apple or Android devices. We'll be back with a brand new show next week right here on the State Champs Sports Network.
State Champs Hangtime is presented by Lawrence Technological University, where Blue Devils dare. Also in partnership with the Indiana High School Athletic Association.